Hello there you guys, welcome to another of my live videos, and today I'm just going to be officially updating you on some more current latest news. So, as you all do currently know, there's a lot of players on Manchester United's agenda, and as you all do know, we do need a massive overhaul this summer, and it's very, very essential indeed that we do get our number one priority targets this summer. But obviously, as you all know, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is working on obviously, trying to keep his imperative players at the football club. He's also working on, trying to get the right players to Manchester United, who he thinks obviously, are good enough to represent Manchester United. So, as you all know, he's worked out his transfer strategy. As he was saying, he wants to recommend a number of young players to come in. So, he's not intending on bringing any short-term players to the club. But obviously, he wants to bring at least 5 players to the club, does Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So, obviously, he wants to full positions, where Manchester United, of course, are lacking. So, potentially, we're getting a spending spree of £250 million. And like I basically said, it's going to rise up to a lot more than £250 million. If we can cash in for the likes of Lukaku, Pogba and De Gea, it's going to take our spending spree to around over £500 million this summer. So I do think it will help us with our rebuilding process, and of course it will help us with our transition. The most essential thing is as well, we've got to get a director of footballing, before the start of next season. Obviously, that's a structural change that we do need at the football club by recommending a director of football, and it would be very, very essential, to recommend someone who knows about the club, someone who knows the culture of the club, and obviously, someone of course who's got the experience. But there has been quite a few candidate names mentioned. Obviously, Solskjaer did say towards the back end of the season, he still believes we can attract players to the highest level, even though we can't offer, Champions League football for next season. So he still believes we can attract players to the highest level. But like I said, there's a lot of players on Manchester United's agenda. Our recruitment, we've got to be good with our recruitment this summer, because analysing our recruitment policy is extremely very, very poor. Obviously, we didn't get anyone in January. Obviously, last summer, we didn't get as a number one priority targets, because obviously, the board weren't backing the signings that Jose Mourinho, of course, wanted to recommend to come in. I think also another issue with Manchester United, we've let far too many players' contracts run down. Looking at it, basically, Rashford's in the final year of his deal. Mata's coming to the end of his contract. He's one of the favourable players that's probably going to be leaving Manchester United in the summer when his contract comes to an end. As well, David De Gea is in the final year of his deal. Obviously, we've let Ander Herrera go on a free transfer. That was bad judgment for Manchester United. So we have let far too many players' contracts run down. But like I said, I've heard some Manchester United fans saying, if we can get the right players to Manchester United this summer, they do believe we can win the league next season. They must be in dreamland, because, like I said, at the moment, City are strides ahead of us, Liverpool are strides ahead of us, and I think it's going to take at least maybe 3 years to mount any kind of title challenge up. So, like I said, I think at least in the next couple of seasons, our aspirations is going to be fighting for that top 4. And obviously, we do know a lot of money has been invested into the club over the years since Alex Ferguson retired. We do know like £700 million has been invested in all the managerial areas, of course. But I'm still backing Ole Gunnar Solskjaer for now. Like I said, we haven't got the structure to keep sacking managers, but we'll see how it goes. See who we can get in this summer, and of course see what happens. Going on into next season. So we do know Daniel James is very, very imminent coming to Manchester United. Indeed, that's looking very, very imminent. Of course, like I said, that's expected to be announced sometime this week. So obviously he's going to be our first signing. Is Daniel James, which is very, very good news. And I've already updated you about that. Obviously, it should be announced sometime this week, as I said. So, potentially, what players, would you like to come to Manchester United in the summer? Now, we do know there's been a hell of a lot of talks going on about Matthias de Ligt. He's been widely spoken about. He has been subjected to a lot of transfer speculation, because it's looking very, very imminent that Matthias de Ligt is going to be leaving Ajax this summer. It's not obviously fully certain, where he will be applying his trade next season. But now, according to recent reports coming out about this story, I think Manchester United are in the ascendancy, to get a deal over the line for Matthias de Ligt. So obviously, there was major development around the Matthias de Ligt deal yesterday. Obviously, reports came out. Obviously, Matthias de Ligt had come up with 2 transfer demands. Decided on his next club, and obviously these are 2 demands Manchester United can definitely meet, of course. So this could play a part, of course, of us, getting the pursuit of Matthias de Ligt. So the 2 demands are, of course, obviously the first one, de Ligt's obviously requiring more money. Obviously, Manchester United are willing to meet what de Ligt and his agent Raiola are demanding. And the second one is he wants to be guaranteed first team football, and definitely at Manchester United he would be assured first team football. But these are 2 demands Barcelona cannot meet. They have initially opted out of the race, because obviously talks between de Ligt talks between De Ligt and Barcelona, had currently come to an end because obviously they couldn't come to an agreement on the terms because Barcelona were reluctant to increase their offer for him. So potentially, yes. So I think Manchester United now, could definitely be in the ascendancy. But either way, Barcelona could not either way guarantee first team football anywhere because obviously Barcelona have got the likes of Clement Lenglet there in their back line, whatever you pronounce his name. They've got the likes of Samuel Umtiti. They've got Gerard Piqué as their first team starter. So he wouldn't be assured first team football anywhere at Barcelona. So first team football would be much easier for him at Old Trafford than it would be for him at Barcelona. So yeah, there's been a lot of talks going on about Matthias De Ligt. But it didn't just say, Manchester United are willing to offer him a contract, worth up to £350,000 a week. So this obviously equates to almost £17 million a year, of course. So obviously, if this was the process, this would make Matthias De Ligt one of the highest paid players at the club. Obviously, the highest paid teenager in world football as well. Matthias De Ligt, and maybe from Matthias De Ligt's perspective, this would be a contract that would be too good to turn down. The only thing that we can't offer Matthias De Ligt is Champions League football. Obviously, Barcelona could offer him, Champions League football, but I don't think Matthias De Ligt cares about this. I think he's actually determined to make the move to Old Trafford. But a lot of teams have inquired about his services. Obviously, City have been in there for him. They're looking for a replacement company. Liverpool have also been in there for Matthias De Ligt. Also, I think recent reports have said that PSG have also expressed their interest. Bayern Munich have been interested. So a lot of teams have inquired about Matthias De Ligt's services, and he has, like I said, been widely spoken about. But as I did initially say, it came out, was it 3 or 4 days ago, saying that Manchester United opted out of the race, for Matthias De Ligt. Obviously, I think Man United were actually convinced that he was set to join Barcelona, and at least in the last couple of months, Barcelona have been in the ascendancy to currently get the player's signature. And like I said, I think from his own perspective, he did say the other week that he does want to join Barcelona, and he's willing to turn down Manchester United and Liverpool to make the move to Barcelona, because obviously his current teammate Frankie de Jong is going to Barcelona. But I do believe there's a lot of credibility in these stories, about Matthias De Ligt. Obviously, it did say, Manchester United were very close to signing this. Obviously, was according to Gerard Romero, who of course is a Spanish journalist. He said Manchester United are very close to signing him. In terms of the transfer fees, I think he's going to cost you around 65 or 70 million pounds. It also said Manchester United put a bid in for him of around 70 million pounds, of course. So yeah, I definitely think we're in the Matthias De Ligt deal, and he could be on his way to Old Trafford. But he has become an integral part of Ajax's squad. Obviously, he has spent the entirety of his career with Ajax. He made his senior debut just at the age of 16, so he's had 3 years worth of experience in their senior squad. I think he's the only defender as well to win the Golden Boy Award. I think he won this last year, did Matthias De Ligt. I think he became more of a first team star, when Davinson Sanchez, left for Tottenham, back in 2017. So yeah, I think he's, definitely going to be leaving. But Ajax have had a great season. They won, the domestic double for the first time in 17 years. Including the Eredivisie title since 2014, they won that as well, first time in 5 years, and of course they progressed to the Champions League semi-finals. So he's done really, really well as Matthias De Ligt, and I think he would be a fantastic leader in our backline if he was to come in. But I do believe we need 2 central defenders, and we'll always keep you up to date on this channel when more additional information updates about Matthias De Ligt. So I think he's now actually where the club's number 1 priority target. So hopefully where we can get a deal over the line for now. I think he'd blend in very, very well alongside Victor Lindelof in our back line. And as you all do currently know, another potential Manchester United target, of course, is Nicolas Pepe from Lille. Now, obviously, as the update on my previous video today, reportedly Manchester United and Liverpool have opened up talks, to sign Nicolas Pepe from Lille. Going back, was it a week or 2 ago, reflecting back then, it did say Nicolas Pepe is going to be leaving Lille, because obviously, the Lille chairman had confirmed this. I think they're wanting the excess of around £70 million, so this is a quoted fee that Lille, do currently want for him. So Manchester United and Liverpool had had to come up with a bid in the excess of £70 million, of course. So he has been on Manchester United's agenda. Only young. I think he's just turned 24 years of age. And again, I think if he comes to the Premier League, it'll be the next step for him, and it will take his career to the next level. He has been at Lille a couple of seasons. He's been in scintillating form, especially throughout the course of this season. He's got goals in him, he's got assists in him, and looking at him, he's the obvious candidate for the right win, for Manchester United. But yeah, I think initially said quite a few weeks back, Man United would eyeing around a £45 million move for him, but I don't think obviously this figure's going to be enough for Lille to currently let him go, because obviously they're rating between around 60 or 70 million pounds. I think obviously Liverpool are seeing him as a replacement for Shaqiri, but I think also he's been on Arsenal's agenda at least in the last couple of months. I think the likes of Bayern Munich and PSG have inquired about his services. Real Madrid have been in there for him, so he's attracted interest from a number of clubs as Nicolas Pepe. But I do believe it would be the right solution for Manchester United. But he has actually spent the entirety of his career in France. I think Lille got him from Angers, back in 2017, so he has done really, really well for Lille. So yeah, I'd love him at Manchester United, as I said. As I've been giving you an update about Bruno Fernandes from Sporting Lisbon, he's another player I'd love at Manchester United. Obviously it is Manchester United and Manchester City that are battling it out for Bruno Fernandes. Obviously, Bruno, as I've been updating, Bruno Fernandes, did currently come out. Bruno Fernandes, did basically, come out. He did come out, Bruno Fernandes. He did say he's uncertain about his future. So he made this admission. He said he's uncertain about his future. He doesn't know if he will be, there. He doesn't know if he'll be, what he's doing. He doesn't know what he's doing next term and all that. So he just says he's uncertain about his future. He's Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes has refused to rule out a move to the Premier League. Obviously, if he doesn't leave Sporting Lisbon, if he doesn't leave Sporting Lisbon, either way, at some point in his career, if he doesn't leave Sporting Lisbon, and he's still at Sporting Lisbon next season. Obviously, though, either way, at some point in his career, Bruno Fernandes will want to leave, and he'll want to, take his career to the next level. And like I said, I do believe he's got all the attributes, he's got all the capabilities to succeed in the Premier League, and I think he definitely, meet expectation levels in the Premier League. I do believe City are emerging as the front runners, to currently get him a deal over the line for him, of course. I think initially it came out a few weeks back saying that Sporting Lisbon were demanding, they wanted around £60 million for him. Obviously, £60 million. I think his initial lease cost is around 85 or 86 million pounds. Obviously it did say as well, that he's basically said as Bruno Fernandes, he doesn't know where his future lies, and he's also come out and said that he's denied that he's had any contact with any club over the potential move. So he did basically say he's denied having any negotiations with Manchester United over the potential move to Old Trafford. But yeah, 24 years of age, still got a hell of a lot of development in him. Primarily an attacking midfielder is Bruno Fernandes. Obviously he's a former Sampdoria, former Underneath player, but he has come out saying that he's had 2 intense years with Sporting Lisbon. He doesn't know if he's having a third year there yet, so he's still unsure about his current future. So he could be applying his trade in the Premier League next season. So if he does come to the Premier League, he'll obviously be either comes to United or he goes to City. Obviously the more attractive option for the player Bruno Fernandes' caliber would be Manchester City, of course, because obviously the strides ahead of Manchester United at the moment. But like I said, there's still a possibility he could come to Manchester United, because definitely Manchester United are in there for him. Like I said, I know we're a toxic club at the moment. We're very inconsistent and all that, and we've got a lot of problems at the club. But like I said, we are one of the biggest clubs in the world. We're the most successful team in England. Historically, we've got a fantastic fan base and all that. So there's still a possibility, that Bruno Fernandes could come in. And I think, like I said, it would be a good adequate replacement for Paul Pogba. And I think he's got a contract still with Sporting Lisbon until 2023. But he'd been his them goals that we need, he'd been his them assists that we need, and his footballing abilities are absolutely fantastic. So I'd love him to come to Manchester United, but it is Man United and Manchester City, of course, that are battling it out for him. Obviously, as I've been keeping you up to date about João Felix from Benfica, I like João Felix a lot. It is also Man United and Manchester City that are battling it out for him. I think both teams have basically made it clear that we are willing to trigger his £105 million buyout clause that he has got in his contract with Benfica. Because I think from Benfica's perspective, they've blatantly made it clear that his £105 million buyout clause has to be triggered if they're willing to currently sell him. From João Felix's perspective, I don't know what he wants to currently do. I think he still remains unsure about his future. There's João Felix, but he's done really, really well with Benfica. He has become an integral part of their team. Obviously, it's only been his first season in the senior squad with Benfica. Obviously, he's yet to make his senior debut for Portugal, but he's only 19 years of age. I said he can emulate into one of the best players in the world. Definitely got a hell of a lot of years development ahead of him. Primarily an attacking midfielder, can play as a winner, can play as a striker and a secondary striker. So he is very, very versatile. Indeed, is João Felix. So it is Man United and Manchester City that are battling it out out for him. Like I said, Man United have been scouting him for a very, very long time now. Obviously, I think the rumours have continued to persist about Joe Felix, since like January. Obviously, Man United were in for him back in January, and I think the process started in January. I think it's obviously started it's continued to persist since then. I think Liverpool, of course, had a bid turned down for him in January. I think they had a £60 million bid turned down for Joe Felix, but he has got goals in him, he's got assists in him, and I think he'd blend in very, very well at Manchester United. Now, as I've been updating you about other potential, Manchester United targets, of course, obviously, Antoine Griezmann. Now, obviously, I think I updated you about Antoine Griezmann on my last video. I think I updated you about him. Was it last week or sometime, or was it a couple of weeks ago? Now, potentially we do know that Antoine Griezmann is looking very imminent that he's going to be leaving Atletico Madrid, because obviously, Antoine Griezmann had currently made this admission that he's going to be leaving Atletico Madrid, and at one point it was looking very, very imminent that he was going to be making the move to Barcelona, because he was destined to make the move to Barcelona was Antoine Griezmann. But now, reportedly Barcelona have got second thoughts. Barcelona are stalling on a move for Antoine Griezmann, and it does say the media are speculating, saying that his move to Barcelona could now be actually off. So now this has allowed Manchester United now to go in for him again, because it does say we have basically reassured them our interest in Antoine Griezmann. I don't see us getting Antoine Griezmann. He came out last week saying that Manchester United had made contact with Antoine Griezmann over the potential move. I probably wouldn't want Griezmann now at Manchester United, because I don't think he's a Galactico player anymore. He's not as good as he was, going back a couple of years ago. He was really, really good. He's still good now, but I don't think he's on the same level as he was a couple of years ago, in my opinion. But he's still very, very good. He can score goals and all. Can Antoine Griezmann, and obviously he's going to cost you over 100 odd million pounds, because his initial release clause at the moment is around 170 odd million pounds in his deal with Atletico Madrid. Obviously this does reduce at the beginning of July, so I think it reduces to around 104 or 105 million pounds. But potentially going back last summer, Barcelona were on the verge of getting Antoine Griezmann. Obviously, they didn't get him because obviously he signed a new long-term contract with Atletico Madrid, so he's under contract now with Atletico Madrid until 2023. Obviously, Griezmann has spent the entirety of his career with Atletico Madrid, as we all the majority of his career with Atletico Madrid, but obviously, all in all, he has spent the entirety of his career in Spain. Obviously, began his career in that with Real Sociedad, where he'd risen up the ranks, and he has been at Atletico Madrid 5 seasons. He scored 133 goals in 257 appearances in all competitions. Obviously, the only major honour he has won with Atletico Madrid, obviously, was the Europa League. I think Atletico Madrid won the Europa League, was it last year? But yeah, he's definitely not going to be leaving Atletico Madrid, but it's still uncertain, why he's going to be playing his chair, because now reportedly Barcelona have dropped their interest in him. So could he be possibly, coming here to Manchester United, Antoine Griezmann? Obviously, a couple of years ago, we nearly got Antoine Griezmann, was it in June, a couple of years ago? But obviously, based on, Atletico Madrid's transfer ban, obviously, we never got a deal over the line for Antoine Griezmann, so the deal never currently materialised. So there is still a lot of talk, about Antoine Griezmann, currently going on. But like I said, I'd rather, spend over the £100 million on Joe Felix, than I would Antoine Griezmann, because obviously Joe Felix is a lot younger, about 9 or 10 years younger. Joe Felix, of course, has got a hell of a lot more development in him than Antoine Griezmann. So yeah, so there's been a lot of talks about him, currently going on. Obviously, other potential Manchester United tags I've been giving you an update on as well. Like I said, being linked to quite a few centre defensive midfielders, of course, as I've been giving you an update on, because I think at the moment Scott McTominay is too inexperienced. Like I said, Fellaini left back in January. I think Matic is too inconsistent and he's too slow and he's aging up, so I think we need a holding midfield. And there's been a few names mentioned. Thomas Partey was spoken about, was it last week and all that, so he's been spoken about recently. Obviously Declan Rice has been linked to Manchester United in the past. Obviously Idrissa Gueye has been mentioned. He's been on Manchester United's agenda, for quite some time. So there's been quite a few holding midfielders, that Manchester United have been interested in. Let's just go find a segue there. Just getting something where there. So yeah, there has been quite a few holding midfielders that Manchester United have been interested in. So definitely, that's one of the priority areas, of course, where Manchester United have got to strengthen up is that midfield. So we do know also there's been a lot of talks going on in the last couple of days, about Giovanni Lo Celso, from Real Betis. Well, I've heard about it in the last 3 or 4 days. Tottenham have been in for him, Manchester United, City, of course, have been in for him. Obviously, he's only 23 years of age. He's Argentinian. He's a central midfielder for Real Betis. Obviously, if Real Betis do currently sell him, PSG, do benefit from it, because PSG do get a percentage of any profit, you know, for you know, Giovanni Lo Celso, because obviously Real Betis got him last summer from PSG. Initially he was on loan with Real Betis, but obviously, you know, Real Betis made the deal permanent, you know, back in April. So obviously, I think they paid around around £20 million, you know, to get him on a permanent basis, you know, Giovanni Lo Celso. So obviously, you know, he's been spoken about. He's got an initial release clause around £88 million. He's a central midfielder, as I said. I think reportedly Tottenham have put a bid in for him of around £53 million. I don't know, obviously, if this figure is going to be enough, you know, to convince, you know, Real Betis to let him go, because maybe they'll want somewhere in the region of around 70 or 80 odd million pounds for Giovanni Lo Celso. So quite a few teams have inquired about his services. And but like I said, anyway, obviously we do know, like I said, you know, Valencia is going to be leaving the club in this summer. We are expected to orchestrate a big summer clear. Probably up to 4 or 5 players are going to leave. Valencia's leaving, we know that, but I think it still remains uncertain where his next destination is going to be. You know, is he going to, you know, be going to Ecuador, returning to Ecuador? Is he, you know, going to be retiring? You know, we don't know what's happening now with Antonio Valencia. We know he's leaving, but we don't know where his next current destination is going to be. He is now, what, 33, 34 years of age. Like I said, get rid of Diamond and Rojo. Like I said, we can get 25, 30 million pounds there for them. Like I did basically say, we know Sanchez is probably leaving Manchester United as well, you know, which is very, very good news indeed about Alexis Sanchez. Obviously, we can't get rid of him permanently, you know, based on his substantial wages, so we can't get rid of Alexis Sanchez permanently, but it's looking likely, you know, he will be going. Talking about Romelu Lukaku, it's looking like, you know, he's definitely, you know, going to be going. Looking likely he's going to be making the move to Inter Milan. That move's now looking very, very imminent. Obviously, we do know that, obviously, both clubs haven't come to an agreement on an initial fee yet, but if you reportedly said from the press, Lukaku's agreed a 5-year deal with Inter Milan. I think Lukaku's been told that I can leave Manchester United, but he's agreed a 5-year deal with Inter Milan. You know, worth up to around 37.5 million across 5 years. I think a year he's on about 7.5 million a year. Something like about 7.5 million a year to Inter Milan. I think also, you know, bonuses included. I think Antonio Conte has been appointed as Inter Milan's manager, or he's set to be appointed as Inter Milan's manager. You know, because obviously, you know, Lucius Bellingham has currently left the club. I think he's signed a contract with Inter Milan until 2022 as Antonio Conte, and obviously he's identified, you know, Romelu Lukaku as his number one target. So yeah, it's looking like that's going to happen, but a fee has not yet come to an agreement. I think Man United want in the region of around £62 million at least. This could be the stumbling block, you know, the fee could be actually, you know, but the stumbling block, because I don't think Inter Milan are willing to pay up to 68 or £70 million for him, because I think initially Inter Milan rated him at around 50 odd million pounds, but we're looking to recoup the majority of the money that we did pay for him from Everton a couple of years ago. Obviously, you know, we paid £75 million for him. Plus 15 million in add-ons, which had risen the deal to £90 million. He's still got 3 years left on his contract with Manchester United. So, yeah, definitely looking like Romelu Lukaku is going to be leaving the club, which is very, very good news. But he was talking a lot about Italy, as I said, you know, before was Romelu Lukaku. You know, about, you know, his dream to play in the Serie A, and he's definitely, you know, destined to make the move to Italy. So it's looking like it's going to happen. Obviously, Lukaku held negotiations, you know, with Inter Milan's representatives when he flew out to Italy the other week, as it did report, and reportedly a deal has been currently agreed as well. Inter Milan are willing to meet his current wage demands. It also said Lukaku is willing to take a pay cut, you know, to join Inter Milan. But like I said, he did also say Inter Milan were willing to offer £30 million, you know, plus Ivan Perisic as part of the deal for Lukaku. But obviously, no, Manchester United are not willing to go along with this, because Ivan Perisic is no longer a Manchester United target. And I think also Icardi got mentioned, but reportedly Ole Gunnar Solskjaer doesn't want Icardi at Manchester United. So yeah, I don't think he's going to go as part of any swap deal. So yeah, so the initial fee hasn't come to an agreement yet, so it hasn't been fully as finalised. But yeah, Solskjaer has blatantly told Romelu Lukaku he's surplus to requirements at Manchester United. Obviously, he enjoyed a difficult second season anyway, because we know mainly Rashford had been first choice ahead of him. You know, but Lukaku, I've got reservations about him, as you all know. Don't get me wrong, his ratio's good in the Premier League, as I said. His pedigree is very, very good in the Premier League. He scored a lot of goals in the Premier League, but like I said, I've got reservations about him. His first touch, he's a big game battler, his link-up play, his footballing ability, I've all got strong reservations about that. So yeah, I think it'll be ideal anyway, you know, if we can currently cash in for him. So he's moved to Inter Milan now. He's looking very, very imminent indeed. So yeah, guys, that's mainly everything to update you on today. Like I said, Daniel James is obviously, you know, going to be the club's for signing. Like I said, it's looking like, you know, Juan Mata's going to be leaving the club as well. And yeah, so lots to sort out this summer at Manchester United. So anyway, guys, drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do consider subscribing to the channel, as always, and take care, God bless, and I'll see you all again very, very soon. Thanks for watching.